We are going to go ahead and label some important uh, physical features and some important places in South America. So go ahead and you can open your map of South America. If you want to print this off and do it that way and use colored pencils or crayons to label things, you can, or you can do it right in Notability as you're watching the video. So some of the things we need to label, first of all, this is South America, the continent of South America. And we're going to start by labeling the equator. And we're going to use black for that. And the equator runs right around here. So we're going to draw a black line and we're going to label that equator. And stop the video whenever you need to. And remember, the equator is 0 degrees latitude. It divides the northern hemisphere, which is the north part of the world, and the southern hemisphere. So part of South America is actually in the northern hemisphere. So that is the equator. The next thing we're going to label, and I'm going to use brown for this, we're going to label the Andes Mountains. And I'm going to start my key down here at the bottom. The way that we label mountains on a map is just like a little, it looks like a mountaintop. And I'm going to write Andes, and I'm going to abbreviate MTS period for mountains. Now there's a lot to label here because the Andes Mountains go all up and down the western coast of South America. So we need to be labeling, drawing little mountain tops all up and down the western coast. Okay, all through all of those countries. It spans pretty much the entire length of the continent. The next thing we're going to label, and I'm going to use green for this, and there's lots of different colors greens that you can use, and I'm going to make a little tree down here at the bottom like that. I'm not an artist. And we're going to label the Amazon rainforest. Remember, this is the largest rainforest in the world. Squeeze it in there. And this again spans a big part of the country. So I'm going to start making my trees right in here to show that it's in that general area. And you can see it kind of runs into the Andes mountain range. Okay. And it goes all the way to the eastern coast. So big area for the Amazon rainforest, and it goes down into Bolivia. Okay. The next thing we're going to label, and I'm going to use blue for this, and that I'm going to use just a solid line. So let me make that my line just a little bit thicker. I'm going to make a solid line, and this is going to be, you guessed it, the Amazon River. And I'm writing over my compass rose here. I'm going to just write over that for now. The Amazon River. And the Amazon River starts right around the equator, right around here. And it kind of, I'm just going to, oops, my iPad is too smart. I'm going to make just a squiggly line, sort of, it comes all the way over there into the country of Peru, which we are going to label. So Peru is right here. This is Peru. And I know this is really hard to do. Try to make your, if you don't have a stylus, try to do it as neatly as possible. I know it's really tough. The last physical feature we're going to label is pampas. And I'm just going to draw a box, and it's going to be shaded a little bit. Remember, the pampas are the plains. They're like plains, and they kind of go in this area here. I'm just going to shade that in a little bit, and I'm going to make a little bit green too over it because it's hills, grasses, so it's not just brown area. There's lots of grasses, hills, but it's a large, flat, open area. So that's the Pampas. Just a couple more things to label. I'm going to switch to black here again and make it a little bit thinner so that I can label it and write neatly for you so you can see it. Right around here is the city of Iquitos. Iquitos is important because that's where a lot of the ships come from. Remember, ships sail along the Amazon River to get goods from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, and Iquitos is sort of that port city that the goods are dropped off at, and then they're shipped to the Pacific Ocean to get on a ship there. One other thing we're going to label here, I'm going to make it blue and color it in. If you can see it, it's a little spot right here, and that is Lake Titicaca. So we'll label that as well. And I think we got everything, boys and girls. I'm going to change my pen thickness and I'm going to shade in because all of this around here is ocean. Now I'm going to try not to go over the words, but this is all ocean, and I'm not going to cover up my key there. Down here at the bottom around is Cape Horn. So I'm just going to kind of outline this. This is all ocean that I'm coloring in. This is the Pacific Ocean on the west. On the east of the continent is the Atlantic Ocean. All of this is ocean. And then to the north, we have the Caribbean Sea. But this is all water, all waterway in here. Okay, just so that you can see. All right, boys and girls, have fun labeling your map, and hopefully you'll learn about where some places are located in South America.